Job's story is old. Many think it is about pain, about why good people suffer. This is true, partly, but there is more. A bigger picture unfolds. It is about cosmic justice, God's justice, not man's. The book of Job is ancient. It reads like a courtroom drama. Heaven itself is the court. Human pain is on trial. Divine justice is questioned. What is fair? What is right? The book bravely asks. This tale comes from long ago. Yet, it speaks to us now. It whispers of deep truths. About God's mysterious ways, about the human heart. This is our journey today. Job was a good man. He lived in a distant land, Uz. He possessed great wealth. Many children blessed his home. Flocks and herds covered his fields. He was, by all accounts, successful. His life seemed perfect, a model of divine favor. In those ancient times, people believed. They believed wealth was a sign of God's pleasure. If you were rich and healthy, God must be happy with you. Job was very rich, very respected. He was seen as righteous, truly blameless in God's eyes. Then the scene shifts. We are taken to a heavenly council. God is there, with angelic beings. Among them is a figure, known as Satan. This means the accuser, not a name but a role, like a lawyer who questions. God allows a test. Does Job love God for God's sake, or only for the gifts God gives? Suddenly Job's world shattered. Disaster struck, again and again. His oxen and donkeys were stolen, his sheep burned in a fire, his camels were carried off. Worst of all, his children died. A great wind crushed the house. All was lost in a single day. Job grieved deeply. He tore his robes, he shaved his head in sorrow, but he did not curse God. Then his health was taken. Painful sores covered his body. He sat in ashes, a broken man. His wife urged him, curse God and die. But Job held on to his integrity. Even in this unimaginable torment, his 3 friends arrived, Eliphaz, Bildad, and Zophar. They saw his great suffering. They sat with him in silence, for 7 long days and nights. Then they began to speak. Their words reflected their culture, a common belief of that age. Suffering means you have sinned. God is punishing your hidden faults. They urged Job to confess. Surely God does not punish the innocent. Job did not accept easy answers. His friends offered them repeatedly. Search your heart for sin, Job, repent and God will restore you. But Job knew his own life. He had strived to be righteous. Their counsel felt like accusations, adding to his immense burden. He felt misunderstood by friends and seemingly forgotten by God. He cried out in his anguish. His words are raw, unfiltered. He questioned the day of his birth. He longed for an audience with God, to plead his case directly. Why was this happening to him? What had he done to deserve it? These are deeply human questions echoing through centuries of pain. When life's trials seem unfair, Job's speeches are filled with sorrow, sometimes with anger, with confusion, yet, through it all, a desire, a deep, persistent desire for God. He argued with the Almighty, he wrestled with divine silence. This was not a sign of weak faith, it was a faith fiercely alive, a faith that refused to let go. After Job's desperate pleas, after his friends' flawed advice, a new voice enters the drama. God speaks, at long last, not in a gentle, quiet way, but from a mighty whirlwind, a storm of immense power. This arrival underscores God's majesty, his awesome, untamed nature, a presence beyond human control. God does not offer Job explanations, not the kind Job had sought. He does not detail the heavenly wager. He does not list Job's supposed sins. Instead, God asks questions, a torrent of profound questions. Where were you when I laid Earth's foundation? Can you bind the chains of the Pleiades? Do you give the horse its strength? Do you hunt the prey for the lioness? These questions are not a rebuke. They are an invitation to a larger view, to glimpse the vastness of creation, the complexity of God's universe. Job is shown his limited place within this grand, intricate design. He sees that divine wisdom is infinitely greater than his own. He cannot fathom God's full plan, and that is a humbling truth. Job's perspective shifts dramatically. He finds a new, deeper trust. Job's ancient story resonates still. It speaks to us today. We all face our own whirlwinds, times of suffering we cannot explain. Illness may strike without warning. Loss may leave us heartbroken. Disappointments can crush our spirits. We too cry out like Job, why is this happening to me? We search for meaning, for fairness. Faith is not always simple. It is not a shield from all pain. It is not pretending all is well when our world is falling apart. True faith can be brutally honest. It can be loud with its questions. It can wrestle with difficult truths. Job's example teaches us this. He did not hide his pain from God, he brought his doubts into the light. This is a courageous faith. The book of Job offers perspective more than it offers easy solutions. We may not always get the why. The reasons for our suffering may remain hidden, but we can gain a broader vision. The narrative of Job reaches a conclusion. His health and fortunes are restored. He receives double what he had lost. But the true climax is internal. It lies within Job's transformed spirit, his deepened relationship with God. This inner change is the real victory, more valuable than any material gain. This is where cosmic justice shines, in the soul's alignment with the divine. The book leaves us with questions, not just about Job, but about ourselves. When suffering enters our lives, how do we respond to its sting? Do we look for someone to blame, or do we turn our hearts toward God? Do we demand full explanations? Or do we seek a more profound trust, a wider view of his vast creation? These are the challenges Job faced. The book of Job is an invitation. It invites us to ponder deeply, to feel intensely, to question boldly. It does not offer a tidy formula for understanding all of life's pain. Instead, it presents a journey of authentic faith, a faith that is dynamic and alive, a faith strong enough to face darkness and still search for God's presence. Let us engage with this timeless story, allow its profound depths to challenge us, let its unflinching honesty guide us. For it is often in wrestling with these hard questions of life, that we, like Job before us, may discover a more resilient faith, a more profound understanding of God, a glimpse of a justice that is truly cosmic, and a peace that surpasses all understanding.